2021, but his spirit lives on, and we've seen huge spirit from the American to get through to the third round. Here we go.
Yeah, I think that side, backhand side with Ons will be something I think Emma will look at to exploit for sure.
Pete talked in a lovely article in the New York Times, talked about how Emma at such a young age just didn't miss, just didn't ever want to miss, and he had to kind of redesign what she thought was an unforced error.
That doesn't surprise me, yeah. Yeah, I think for Emma, what really stood apart when she made that jump is just she added another layer to her game of just being aggressive and really taking control of points. If you give anything in the middle to Emma, you're going to get punished.
Cain, Navarro. Clean start. Well, number 8 looking great. That's a career high ranking that she placed this major at. As we take a little look at our favourite moment of every single match here at the Australian Open. There it is, the win protector. Although I have to give it credit because we pan it enough. Last night it gave Djokovic a 91% chance of winning that match against Margaret, and we were like, no chance, and Novak turned up, and the 9% was about right. What do you think of that one?
Actually, for once, I think I'm with the win predictor, but I just won't agree with it later on, because as soon as someone, if Ons wins, we know that's shifting. So, but I do. What do you think? I feel like that's maybe accurate.
It feels fair. Chanda, what your maths?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, this is a tough one to call, honestly, but I'd give Navarro the slight edge right now.
Beautifully swept cross court there.
15 love.
Looked a little close to me, but I guess you can't doubt the machine.
15.
That's the one thing. Can't argue with it. There's definitely been a few players that have been given it a
try.
shot look. Yeah. And Chandler, that is kind of the improvement from Emma, isn't it? Seeing something short and reacting quickly to it.
Yeah, and I actually think she looks very quick off the mark here in the early stages of this match. Her first 2 rounds, I felt like she was a little passive at times. Different matchups. She knows what she needs to do against Ons. And again, that's not letting Ons Jabeur weave the rallies and throw in the dinks and the shots from difficult positions. So maybe that makes it easier for Navarro here in these early stages.
Oh, that is special.
Wow, that forehand, you don't want to go there if you don't go there with a purpose. She just also
Navarro leads 2 games still up.
that heavy forehand line to Ons's backhand. Ons needs to find a way to neutralize that a bit better. Just stay away from it. Just nothing short to that side, and really pepper more the backhand side of Navarro.
Ons struggled in her previous match with her health. It wasn't so much the tennis that she was struggling with. In fact, she played very well, but against Osorio, she had an asthma attack that she couldn't really overcome at that stage. She had the inhaler, didn't really relieve it, battled through. It was very emotional.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Ons is feeling better today, but I actually did see her after that match, and I thought she was sick, but she did confirm it was asthma, so hopefully a better health day today for Ons.
I
mean, this is a great start by Emma. I think she's learned from maybe the last 2 matches. She didn't want to be here for too long in the opening games.
A few loose shots from Ons. Navarro capitalizing on that, and it is the perfect start for the American. 3-love. Jana, is it sometimes easier for a player like...
Gone deep into majors, and, you know, if you're not on, it's trouble.
A lot of love for Ons, and you can hear it in the crowd trying to get her up and running.
Love 15.
That was a very despondent turn away after that double fault.
Yeah, felt like, but I think the sun is problematic on the other side, so I don't think it was the sun on this serve.
It's definitely a very lackluster Ons Jabeur, and you mentioned the health issues she had, Mark, struggling with her breathing. She talked about after that match how unsettling it was. She almost thought she couldn't continue. And, you know, there's always a little bit of a carryover, especially if you're uncertain as to how you're going to respond in the next match. And it's a bit warmer here today, and it's only going to get warmer.
My husband and fitness trainer Issam Jalali will be a little concerned. Not just the lack of games, but the lack of points.
15-42.
Sometimes find it that Ons is a bit of a slower starter in general, so, you know, hopefully this isn't a health-related thing and just a bit of a lull combined with Emma's strong start.
Super serve.
kind of like how she went middle there, but Emma read it. Emma didn't move. She just waited. I think Emma really trusts her physicality at this stage. I mean, she was ready to go either side, but I did like what Ons was thinking there.
Just can't believe that's...
yeah, feels like she's convinced it's in, but I mean, not missed by not much, but...
Brief signs of life there for the 30-year-old in that particular game, dragging herself back from love 40. But this set looks as though it's out of her reach already. For love, Navarro.
I'm continuing to notice the footwork of Emma Navarro, how well she's getting to the ball, getting behind it. She's staying low and through her shots right now. Very clear on what she's trying to do in terms of getting depth and pace. Just trying to push Jabeur around here.
This is where it gets tough when Emma's not really giving you any unforced errors and you're the one kind of doing everything. It's tough, but I think just getting on the board would really help Ons to, even if this set is coming towards an end, just to get on the board and have a good start for the second. Yeah, that looked, does look, the court seems a bit quicker to me. I'm used to Margaret being a bit slower, but that backhand from Navarro shot through. This is, I think, what is Ons' strength. She will throw everything at you in one point and just keep you off balance. So even if Emma gets to all these shots, I think just the fact that she's looking at different ones, it's going to make her maybe give her a bit more errors.
She's there. She's not there, though.
The classic Jabeur point. I love seeing that. Threw everything at her and made Emma run for it. But also love Ons doesn't really feel like she doesn't talk to her camp a lot during play. She's a very independent player, and she's going to problem solve this set, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, Emma actually said the same thing. She said sometimes she doesn't really want a lot of conversation. She feels like she problem solves well. Needed it against Peyton Stearns in our opening round.
Yeah, you don't say no to help when you need it.
Cain,
Well,
Navarro.
Ons does need some help at the moment, yet to get her side of the scoreboard moving. 5-love.
Navarro leads 5 games to love.
Everyone, Jana and Isla, saying how well she's hitting the ball compared to her opening couple of rounds, and as you can see here, she's found an extra 4 Ks off that forehand. It is some clean hitting from the 23-year-old American.
Just feels a bit rushed on these points, like just not getting ready on time. I wouldn't mind to see Ons move in on some of the, I felt like the shot she played Thomas forehand that Emma sliced could have come to the net and finished the point off and just create visual pressure for Navarro. I love that 1-2 punch.
Good, 15.
Definitely get her fitness in this match, but like her coach said, she's ready. She's put so much work in the off season. You can see how fit she is from up here. That backhand droppy was amazing. Wow. I also sometimes, I don't know if this is important or not, but if I were in Ons' shoes, I'd be happy to hold here, because also even if I lose this set, I'm starting the set serving. And I think in a second set, I prefer that over being the one, you know, kind of always playing catch up.
Sure you all can see and hear it from up there, but there is definitely more thump behind Ons Jabeur's shots right now. You could see the energy, a little better footwork, and all of that contributed to her holding serve and getting on the board, and the crowd absolutely appreciating her efforts there. They want to see a match.
A few more errors from Navarro almost feels strange.
Jabeur getting traction in this opening set.
14.
Stunning.
Jabeur.
What a backhand from Jabeur.
Please.
One good hold and a break, and this set may get interesting still. Prize money commission if she turns this around, but you're right. I mean, it's and just what Chana was saying as well. It's interesting just how much cleaner the ball seems to be coming off her racket suddenly.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a bit more pace behind her ball. Even got Emma crouching and couldn't really defend the balls from the serve. But also, do you feel like Emma could maybe mix up the serve a bit more? It feels a bit predictable with the slices. I don't know, we saw it on the monitor, but yeah, feels like it doesn't feel unreturnable, that's for sure.
There's definitely opportunities here for Ons Jabeur. Question is whether she can hang on to her next service game and make some inroads in the next one. On a cloudless day here in Melbourne. Ons Jabeur with a couple of games in a row. Can she continue the fight back? If she continues to hit spots like that, she will. Huge uptick in pace as well off the ground from Jabeur after the opening 3 games. Look at that. Found 10 kilometers more off the backhand and 4 on the forehand. Dubbed the Roger Federer of Tunisia when she was growing up because of those lovely silky hands.
She's just so fun to watch when she does stuff like this, which is all the time. Ons doesn't have the fastest serve, but wow, does she place it well. And something with her motion always makes me feel like it's coming in quicker than what I read on the monitor. Maybe that's just me. She holds court so well. I mean, I was looking at her footwork. She didn't really back off the baseline, and it's not like Emma is hitting short. It's just she plays her best tennis when she takes the ball early and is being the one that's, you know, being the aggressor. Was the right play though.
Jana, things have got a little interesting, a little more interesting than perhaps you Americans want.
Well, you know, I'm enjoying, you know, the match from down here, certainly, and Navarro now with a little bit of work to do, but I think she would have expected at some point for Jabeur another challenge for Navarro right now.
Nicely segued to neutrality there.
Yeah, that side is so tricky with the sun at this stage of the day. I mean, also both of these girls not using a hat is incredibly impressive to me. I don't know how they managed to do that, but maybe we'll see Emma or Ons, you know, adjust their starting point on their serve. Could help, but definitely it's the second shot where you're blind, is that it affects you.
We saw Sabalenka yesterday struggling, didn't we? Having a serve very slowly from the end that Navarro's at right now.
She's just so good at making you hit shots that are not even easy to practice. I don't think Emma was ready for that shot, but also neutralizing the point with her slice, just so crafty. But if you look at Ons's demeanor, I mean, she's won the last 3 games, but it's kind of similar to even when she was losing. So she's got that poker face.
From courtside, these calls look nasty. I mean, they are sliding through the court. They're staying low. She's got a similar take back when she goes to the slice as when she goes to the drop shot. And she is yanking Navarro around right now.
I always feel like when Ons gets her opponent to slice is exactly where she wants him to be. Nothing like a first serve to get you out of trouble.
Followed by a second one.
Feels like she just wanted to make that return in, especially break point. Didn't feel like it was unreturnable, but just had to give it a bit more power.
Advantage, Navarro.
A couple of chances for Jabeur to get back on serve in this opening set have slipped by. And a chance now for the American to secure this opening set.
Definitely more errors creeping in from Navarro. I think Jabeur just pushing her around and making her hit more balls, different balls every part of the court. Definitely setting up a really good battle even for the next set. Changes quickly, doesn't it? I mean, just feels like 10 minutes ago we were talking about what does Ons have to do to get back into this match, and she's a point away from leveling it to being on serve.
Couldn't find a first serve to bail herself out of trouble. And Jabeur jumps all over the second, and we are back on 4 straight games for Jabeur.
More and give her more airs, but we also know that Ons can produce that off her backhand and you know, go for the winner. So I'm sure Emma's not happy to not have closed that out, but we're happy to see a battle.
For quite a while, and that is beat a top tenner. As you can see, this would be her first WTA top win at a Grand Slam event since beating Sabalenka at Wimbledon in what was one of those great runs through, wasn't it, from the round of 32. Beat Andreescu, former Grand Slam winner, Kvitova, former Grand Slam winner, Rybakina, former Grand Slam winner, Sabalenka, as we just saw before, coming up short against Vondrousova in the final. First time that had actually happened since Serena Williams back in '99 at the US Open. And it's that type of quality that Navarro's up against right now.
Yeah, you could see Navarro motioning that she needs to move up to that ball, but that's the quality Ons has. She plays this kind of like a tough ball, but it lands short and makes you kind of stuck in your feet. I feel like that was going out. Maybe Shonda had a better view.
15.
Tough to tell. I think when you are in doubt, as you know, you play it. But I think she maybe second-guessed it at the last moment.
Line first serve.
Yeah, Navarro just has to stay aggressive here. Definitely always have a chance when Ons hits a second serve that you can attack it. Both of these girls, I feel like their demeanor on court, you can't really read them. They're very leveled. Almost if you just look at them, you wouldn't be able to tell who's winning, who's losing. And then off the court, I feel like they're quite different.
Great athleticism on the stretch there from Navarro.
It's just so casual with that volley. I almost feel like if she maybe got a little lower, she could have had it, but that's Ons for you. She will do it with flair. The line. Ons almost thinks that now it's out. I mean, it's not convinced.
It looked out when it hit, honestly. But it's electronic line calling. You go with it.
Outrageous.
That's amazing. Wow. Her team definitely liked that one. I actually got worried that she maybe came in and didn't hit it enough of a, didn't spread the court enough, but what she makes up with her hands is unbelievable.
What a shot.
Well, they're definitely bringing the best out of each other this game, that's for sure. I thought also it was a smart play to go to Emma's backhand on the serve, but that's just too good. I like that play though, just a bit more urgency and commitment to that shot. Looks like she's motioning, she wanted to give it more shape.
Can Navarro shake off Jabeur? Third set point. Yes, she can. Another mistake up at net for the Tunisian, and finally the American takes it 6-4.
You know, I won this set and I was up 5-love, but I'm kind of playing against a different player coming into the second because she really picked up her level and played some great tennis at the end.
As you said, you can't really read either of these two. Navarro just looking. So, what differences are they off the court? You said they look the same on it. What differences off the court?
Yeah, I mean, Ons is one of the players that when I'm having a bad day and we have lockers next to each other here, she's like my therapist. So there have been plenty of times where, you know, she gives me a pep talk when.
Old number 8. Most improved player on the WTA. And would have been at the best of the best event in Saudi Arabia had it not been for Krejcikova, of course, who had won Wimbledon, and then that rule that if you won a major and you're inside the world's top 20, you get in, and Navarro missed out.
Rude.
Yeah.
You know, you got to hit a good drop before Emma not to get to it. So I think she's definitely in this set going to keep an eye on Ons, you know, but she sneaks it so quickly. She disguises it so well, but great athlete, Emma. I mean, you know, she's going to be getting to more of these than in the first set, I think, where she was caught maybe a bit off guard.
Another gorgeous forehand.
Just a short take back and bang. That's what I mean. She loves to take it early and use your pace as well. I mean, that's as much negativity as we will see from Emma. But Ons making way more returns here and making Emma work for this one. Some scoreboard pressure as well.
First game, second set.
It was a quality start to the second set by Jabeur.
Yeah, it was a couple of nice strikes picking up where.
Good in play.
Promising start in the opening 3 games where she was subdued in pace and also in temperament, but has turned things around magnificently.
Yeah, just mixing up the serve as well, making Emma hit different shots. Can't really see where it's coming from, where it's going.
Jana, it's nice to see Ons put this kind of performance in against one of the elite players.
I mean, this is the type of tennis we were 3 service games, and right now it seems like the serve is not pressing Jabeur enough. It's not moving her wide enough or pressing her in terms of pace often enough.
I was just going to say, Emma needs to try to get that ball above shoulders on the backhand for Ons, but she gave it a little jump, and I think she's seeing the ball like a basketball right now, which doesn't help Emma, but I think if she just tries to put more shape on her shots and get the ball out of the strike zone for Ons, could be a better story.
It's interesting, Isla, you say that. I'm sitting here courtside, and I'm trying to figure out how do you get it out of Jabeur's strike zone. I mean, even the serves that are a little higher, a little more kick, she's very comfortable taking it above the shoulders and hitting down on it, more than probably most players. And so that's part of the challenge on some of the returns, even when Navarro gets a pretty good serve.
Yeah, well, that's the tough part now when Ons is playing this well. This is when she's sort of at her best. Nothing really works, but you got to stay persistent. And trust me, you know, there is a height you can go to where it will be hard for, even with the jump, to get over it. And I know Emma has that in her forehand and in her kick serve.
Wizardry. Wonderful. And it is a winning pattern of play that Jabeur has found at the start of this second set. 3-love.
Jabeur leads 3 games.
Always happy to do out here because some of these shots you will never see but for playing Ons Jabeur, and it's really a beautiful game to watch.
Yeah, that's the trouble about facing Ons. You actually can't even practice these to play against these shots because
no one else does it.
No one else does it unless you ask her to have a hit before you guys play. But
for a lot of guys out on the tour, when they do a charity gig, it's sort of $100 for every ace. For Ons Jabeur at Wimbledon back in 2023, her sponsor actually donated $100 for every drop shot she hit for renovating a high school in a neglected region of Tunisia. And she produces quite a few. That would have been a fairly hefty check. That's unplayable.
And also, I think, you know, you just weather the storm as well. When your opponent is playing this well, I mean, Emma just has to stick to what the game plan was in the beginning, and kind of weather the storm and wait for Ons to start missing a few. I can tell you it's not fun to be Emma now, because this is when you feel silly, because you feel like Ons starts toying with you. But you just got to accept it that also this is probably one of her biggest strengths. Also, given how the first set went, I think Emma needs to keep in mind, you know, Ons turned it around from love 4 to 4-5. Why wouldn't Emma be able to do the same?
30-all.
Well, she talked a little bit about that in her win over Badosa in the quarterfinals of the US Open. She was down heavily in that second set, she said, but I just didn't see myself playing a third set. I always thought there was a way back. And we're still just halfway through this second set at the moment. Front-facing hot dog.
I don't even know how she does that, because I'm very not talented with this stuff, so I always get impressed. And I want to know if that was that the only choice, or did she want to give a bit of fun to the crowd? Maybe both.
It does look as though she picked it up a little bit late. Beautiful length from the American, sticking to her task well.
Yeah, and that's the forehand I was talking about, that got, I mean, even Ons played a great drop shot. I don't think she meant to do that, but to get it out of her, above her shoulders and to the corners, you can't go wrong with that.
Chanda, she's over having a chat with the coach. Of course, it's legal. Would you like the towel boxes that close to your opponent's coaching team is more my question.
It's a little close for my comfort, I would say, but you know, everybody's getting used to it.
I was wondering what the players were thinking about it. Actually, Emma said after that win against Peyton Stearns, of course, out on Laver, that, you know, walking up there to the opposing coach was a little uncomfortable after a big point, because they're out of their seats roaring for Peyton, and she's standing right there.
Maybe that's a moment you can intimidate them right back. You know, they get scared to cheer if you're really close. Give them a look or something.
Got to pick herself up. Down a set at the moment, Jabeur, but she just has to remind herself she's won 7 of the last 9 games.
Try to beat her at her own game. But yeah, Shonda mentioned that earlier. It's really tough because it's this, Ons has the same take back for her slice and for her drop shot, so you don't technically know what's coming, and sometimes you even have to anticipate it before it even comes out and start running before. But yeah, very hard to do when you're on the other end.
Second serve.
You can see Ons' longtime coach definitely encouraging that, knowing that that was the right shot. Just needs to clear the net a little bit, but 100% what she needed to do on that second serve.
Navarro inching her way back into contention in this for her ability to problem solve. And Chanda, sometimes you've just got to ride that storm out, haven't you, and just wait for it to blow itself out when you have the kind of extravagant style that obviously Ons does.
I think you do, and I think players who are up against Jabeur, they know that, and you know, you sometimes do feel silly with the ability Ons Jabeur has to hit the drop shot out of nowhere, and you are struggling, feeling like a hack out there. But
I know that feeling well, Chanda. And first. But just wavering here a little bit on Jabeur.
A bit of hesitation on that forehand. I had a feeling she might go back across, but yeah, just a bit more. Ons taking no time in between. She tends to play fast, but wouldn't mind a few seconds extra here. Did everything well there up until the last one, but hard to say with knowing that this is how Ons is, but body language is a little bit negative last two games.
Great desire and determination from Navarro, as ever.
15-14.
There's not a ball she gives up on, which is probably why she's such a great player, and also why there are so many matches that she's come back from when she's been down and out. That's a way to save 3 break points. It's funny, Emma taking her time more than Ons here. Always feel a bit of pressure when I'm on the other end of the court and have to almost skip and not make, because you want to play by the server's pace, but you're allowed to take your time as well. Feels like she mishit it a little bit. Don't feel like it was a clean hit. Not sure she wanted to go line there.
Great escape on offer now for Jabeur. Couple of missed second serve returns. She can't believe it.
New balls, please.
Jabeur once again moving away from the American in this second set.
Jabeur leads 4 games.
I feel like when there's a lack of emotional reactions from both, it's hard to tell where the momentum is, because I thought it was completely with Ons, and then, you know, a few errors here and Emma's right back into it. It's been really hard to pick which direction this match is going in.
Did you like the intent there, Chanda, or was it a little overly aggressive from Navarro?
I didn't mind the intent, just because that's what she's had to do to break serve. Incidentally, I've called both of Emma's first 2 matches 3 sets. I've never seen her sit down. And she sat down as she went to the towel as if just to contemplate what happened the last 5 points. And it's been that kind of match for her. But I like that she's trying to problem solve. She's trying to do different things, even if it means the occasional miss.
Yeah, this is definitely a match where Emma is going to have to adapt and change things as they go, because Ons, when she gets hot, I think that there's different things she can try and vice versa. That's unbelievable. It's just not a shot you expect when you're on the run, on the forehand, to have to run back for a drop shot. Just holds the court so well. I mean, she doesn't back off from the baseline, and such good timing and hands to redirect the ball and use Emma's pace.
A couple of points there that you can see tennis's gain and handball's loss back in Tunisia. They were desperate to get her into a very popular sport over there in Tunisia, but tennis won out.
(40-13).
Superb use of the court. May not have quite the flair that obviously Jabeur does, but that was great court craft from Navarro. 4-3 to the Tunisian.
Yeah, having hit with Emma after she's had the success last year, and this is the biggest difference I found was the heaviness on her serve, and then the forehand off that she can, the power and the height that she can create, and just the angle really makes you not want to go to that side.
Yeah, that one was half court. The three-quarter forehand pulled across court is one of the most important shots out there. That was a lovely example of something even more special from Navarro, and that's what she's needing to produce right now.
I think Navarro's also in a new position, having had an amazing year last year, and it's never easy to back that up. And coming into this year, people know you more. You're feeling like you got to defend results, and you're not really the new kid on the block anymore. You got to back up what you did the year before, and that's never easy. So she's got a big task ahead, but I think she'll do well just because of the grit and determination she always shows.
Eighth appearance here for Jabeur in Melbourne 2020. She made the quarterfinals. As for Emma Navarro, this just her second appearance. Last year she reached the third round. I don't know quite, Chana, why she runs that way to hit that serve.
I think she's just a little more comfortable on the backhand side. That is the more steady wing for Navarro. Her forehand can get a little whippy.
It takes you so far out of court, though.
And, you know, tennis players, they want to be comfortable, Petch. You know that. Doesn't matter.
You've got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, Chana, like you under that umbrella, getting hotter and hotter by the second.
like she almost gave up on that point, thought her ball was out, but that was right on the line. So, I mean, at one point when you play Ons, you just want to like sit down and give up just a few of those drop shots. Yeah, I think you were right saying about Emma kind of avoiding that forehand on the first serve, because she even moved her positioning on the return on the ad side, moving closer to the middle. But to be honest, I don't see why, because she looks for the forehand in the point. It's not like that worked
Well, it's
out.
jamming her. It's chasing her and therefore squeezing her space on the backhand. She's playing it out of her left hip. If she went the other way, the ball's sliding. It's actually creating space for her.
And then she's closer to the middle of the court.
Correct. That's right in Ons's wheelhouse.
You can see that Emma's feeling it too from all the sprint. I mean, if we could know how many sprints she's done for the last two sets, it's probably more than what she did in December. But credit to Ons, even the amount of drop shots she's hit, they're all quality. There hasn't been one hiccup where it's either too high or too long. I think big game here, though, for Navarro. Just you want to stay close and have Ons serve it out if she can.
Just one of those errors that's kind of earned by Jabeur's wizardry down the other end. You don't want to give her too much time on the ball to be able to produce those drop shots. Emma trying a little too much from down low.
Yeah, it's too good. You know, I think Ons's ball is really hard to see from the screen, but it's actually a very uncomfortable ball because it's, in a way, it's really doesn't have much net clearance, and you can get jammed quite a few times. So, you know, the errors that are creeping in from Navarro is also credit to Ons.
Been waiting for a moment to say this, but Jabeur's shots, her trajectory, you mentioned the low clearance over the net, and then when it hits the ground, it's like it doesn't come up. It stays going lower, where most players, even flat hitters, once it hits, it'll come up a little bit from the court. Jabeur's oftentimes does not.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Shonda. And as when you're playing Jabeur, you want to get it above her shoulder, but then it's tough because her balls stay so low. So it's almost easier said than done to, you know, stick to your tactics if that's what you agreed with your coach.
Out. 30-14.
Good save by Navarro. Just want to extend the set as long as possible. that's a gift. That's a Christmas present at the right time.
Set point gratefully received by Jabeur. Not just her coach, the crowd and everybody within Melbourne Park. An absolutely stunning finish to the second set, 6-3. Credits in a Ons Jabeur match, but to be honest, it's so unique that whatever unforced errors the opponent hit, I think you kind of almost got to asterisk it against it because of just what you're dealing with.
Yeah, and I thought it was an interesting stat over there, how much court Ons has covered in the first set compared to the second, and she definitely ran a bit less in the second, just showing that she's the aggressor, and it was a bit of cat and mouse that she was playing, and that's what Ons wants you to do. She wants you to get into that cat and mouse game because she's the best at that.
Andreeva 0-2, knee problems, the shoulder problem. But more interestingly right now, she's proving to be a problem for Navarro. But we talked about wheelhouses in terms of the trickery that we see from Jabeur. Look at this. Emma Navarro has played 33 set matches since the start of 2024, more than anyone else. She likes this format and she's been super successful at it, winning over 20 of those matches. Glued it to the line.
I mean, the amount of different shots Ons threw, because I was thinking during this point how Emma needs to find a way to be more aggressive and be the aggressor in this match, but Ons just giving her 4 different looks from her backhand side, and you can't say Emma did anything wrong there. The one thing with Ons, though, you know, she will come up with spectacular points, but she will give you gifts here and there. It's just part of her game. So if you're Emma, you just got to stay calm and look for your opportunities, because you will get them. Yeah, a bit of hesitation on that forehand return. Just doesn't look settled in her return games, Emma Navarro. But at the end of the day, I think that's credit to Ons. This is just what she does to you. She makes you feel very uncomfortable on the court and makes you question your choices. And that little bit of doubt can really turn a match around.
In keeping with obviously how she's got to this stage with the win against Stearns, that was a gritty one. Had to put a horrible miss on the overhead behind her on break point to go 4-all in that third set, but got it done in the longest match of her career. And then against Wong, going to 3 sets again. She was impressive down the final stretch.
To deliver some salt and some energy gel packages at the next change events for Jabeur.
And you can hear there from the umpire that Ons just wanting to get something from the doctor, some salt, some energy gels. Robert Balforth, the umpire for this one.
Love 15.
Emma Navarro just looking a little bit rattled. I think needs to find what works best for her and just go for her favorite spots, favorite shots.
Absolute genius from Jabeur. She still had a little bit of work to do to tidy things up. Look at this. You've been asking for it, Isla.
This is incredible. I mean, it just shows you the variety on the serve. But you don't expect a drop shot off of your serve. It's just something that is very hard to look at.
If you want to highlight just how confused Emma is at times, just need to look at that point. She was so hesitant about coming in, and yet she had got Jabeur completely on the run. Look at that, looking.
Yeah. But this is what she has to keep doing, because this is what gave her success in that first set, even if Jabeur did have a slow start.
That is massive. We might bookmark that point at the end of this if she manages to hang on to this service game. That was a huge dig.
She slid into that as well and had control with her two hands to pull that line. Unbelievable.
Doesn't always teach a character, this sport. People love to say that, but I tell you what, it always reveals it. And Navarro's shown in the last 12 months just how tough she is down the stretch.
I actually love that saying. I couldn't agree with it more.
That's all you can do.
Surprised she didn't move in on that one. Yeah. I mean, that would have been probably a volley.
Jenna, that's great coaching from Pete. He knows how big that game was. He was out of his seat immediately, not just sitting there rocking back. He is just up, showing Emma the intensity that she needs to bring to this next point. So easy just to sit there and kind of chat. He is his body language and everything else.
Yeah, since getting up 5-love in the first set, it's been difficult for Navarro to hold. So that type of hold, she got a free point during the middle of that game. I think that was big. All of that just helps, you know, shore up the belief down the stretch here.
Just something about Ons' serve is not working for Navarro right now. just, in my opinion, a bit too many gifts.
I think we see Emma Navarro play a lot, and a lot of times she's getting that return back in play. Right now, she's trying to act on it because that's her best chance to try to get the break, and that's where she's been more successful this match.
But
I think it's causing her to throw in more unforced error. She's playing a little bit outside of what her norms would be.
Great point, and you're absolutely right, Shonda. I mean, I think the fact that Ons' serve maybe isn't the quickest and Emma cannot use the pace, it's making it harder for her to neutralize it and get into the point where she feels like she has to put something extra on it.
First serve.
Is the balance of power in this match going to suddenly tilt back towards the American?
This is where sometimes Ons can get sloppy because she makes spectacular shots and she keeps going, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Tough choice to pull that one line, but did give it height.
Advantage, Jabeur.
Just not enough.
Chanda, just quickly, she looked a little winded after that point.
Taking a couple extra deep breaths, got a little bit of shade, but it's just a reset.
Try to pull the trigger on the return very quickly. Jabeur survives. 2-1, final set to the Tunisian. Good scrap. Opening match out here on the Margaret Arena has proved to be an absolutely riveting affair between these two. Didn't look that way if you're just joining us for the first time. Navarro, the 8th seed, ran away with the opening 5 games before, as you can see, Jabeur closed the gap to 4, almost got back on level terms, and it has been pretty equal ever since then.
Love.
That's just too good. Too good, but Emma just has to find a way to get Ons to not have all that possibility. But hard to do when, like we said, the ball stays low off of Ons' racket. Always adds a bit of her own twist. Great point by Ons. She knows how big this one was.
15-30.
You can just feel that Ons is controlling most of the points now.
Something a little more conventional from Jabeur. Carves out a couple of break points for her.
Left. First set.
Every point feels priceless.
30-14.
Really important for Emma just really to take it 1 point at a time and just to get this back to juice, then have another battle. Also, if I have to pick, I would back maybe Emma a bit more physically. Ons feels a bit more weathered at this stage of the match, and you know we did here ask for some more electrolytes and salt on the change of ends. So if Emma can make this as physical as it can get, I think it can help her.
Yeah, these two, they've been playing just over an hour and a half, but it's been the intensity of the match, a lot of the running that Navarro's had to do. We know Jabeur's issues that she had with her breathing in her last match, and so there's a lot more that's coming into play, and it's getting a little toasty. Even under the nice umbrella that I'm under, I can feel the heat beaming down a bit more than at the start of this match.
Yeah, I've just pressed the button on our digital air conditioning up here, Chandra, and just knocked it down a couple of degrees.
Yeah, we can feel it too.
You'll have to show me where that is, Petch, when you come down.
She was a little cooler on that point than she would have liked. Navarro back to the relative sanctuary of juice in this important fourth game.
Great point from Emma here, really pressing, putting pressure on Ons. But even some of the shots Ons comes up with, you know, she doesn't get out of balance too easily, and she's right back in the middle, so really playing good defensive tennis as well.
That's what we want. Big third-round clash between two iconic names on the women's tour, and we are locked at 2 apiece in the final set. And it will be interesting, of course, because Jabeur hasn't played a lot of these elite players and what they bring to the court as well. Last year, of course, had to pull out in Berlin in the quarters against Coco Gauff. She had a viral illness there after dropping the opening set on the breaker. Played Coco at Roland Garros in the quarterfinals, lost in 3 sets. But just 3 matches against top tenors last year. Did get the better of Ostapenko in Madrid.
15.
Former champion there, of course, Jabeur.
Having not used up the break points, there's a mental lapse maybe that's coming for Jabeur.
Yeah, and I think also we're even at 2-all, but Emma Navarro's got to feel like she's ahead with how she saved the break points. She is on serve, even though she could have very well been down by this point. And for Jabeur, I think it's the opposite direction.
Janda right on point, and big points here for the American, having survived in the previous service game. Issam's charge is in danger of going behind a break in this final set.
Yeah, really important for Emma to take her time before every point here, because Ons did come back from some love 40 games, so it's not like she hasn't done it before, but every point is crucial here.
Good discipline. She has stuck to her task so admirably in this final set, has Navarro. And she gets the success. A break, 3-2.
To break, and just happy to have hold it to 2-all, but yeah, excited to see what Ons comes up with here. Having the coach on that side too, maybe she taps into that.
Time.
Didn't really do enough with that serve. Just felt like it was right in the wheelhouse of Jabeur's forehand. I feel like once you start the point off running with Jabeur, it's really hard to get back into the aggressive side.
Great start to this game.
30.
That was some dig from the 23-year-old on her two-hander there.
And that was an important point.
15-30.
15-30 compared to love 40 makes Emma feel like she's still in this game.
Great counter from Navarro with the slice down the line to get out of that exchange.
Yeah, it was also a good reaction. I don't think she expected that, but I always get nervous when you slice back to Ons from her slice, but I did think that that was the right choice in this point. I feel like pressure's a bit more now on Ons, being a 30-all, like she has to do something here.
What an onslaught, relentless from Jabeur.
The physicality from Emma is evident, but I just would love to know the thought process on Emma serving, because it's pretty low in the 140s or 150, and not sure about the placement. Is it body backhand? Yeah, not sure what the goal is.
One of her quickest serves of the day, particularly as it was out wide on the outside. Her quickest is 166. That one coming in at 163. There was a clear decision made by the American there to look for the quick point with the big serve. Jabeur got back in amongst it, but is she wilting a little bit here in the Melbourne sun?
That's outrageous. That's incredible. I don't know if I'm more impressed with the drop shot off the serve or the second passing shot. I want to know also, when does she decide this? There's no way she's waiting at the line and being like, okay, next one. It must be a bit of a last-minute decision and feel.
I just feel like as this becomes more of a physical battle, it shifts even more to Emma Navarro's side of the court. All these break opportunities here in the third set could start to take more of a toll on Jabeur, especially if she doesn't get the break here.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a blessing and a curse with Emma Navarro being physically so fit that sometimes she relies maybe too much on her legs and her lungs, and you know, isn't as aggressive from the ground. But look, she's finding a way in the last round, so I definitely think physicality is not an issue here. Great placement on this serve to get it back to deuce. We always come up with the best serves when we're backed up against the wall, don't we?
You might have. Don't put me in that category. What I love about Emma Navarro is discipline at the highest level, is seeing an open shot, knowing you can make it, but knowing if you don't pull the trigger on that one and just make a normal shot, you're more likely to win it. She is so good at not playing herself out of situations. The one thing she isn't is sorry.
Well, knowing Ons, she probably is as sorry as she can be in this situation, but then pretty glad it's back to deuce. That did come in very lucky. I mean, wow. I was thinking, had a feeling that could clip the net.
Couldn't quite get the feet probably around that to hit a forehand, which he would have liked to have done. Had to force the backhand. There was nothing to work with pace-wise. And there is so much pressure out there at the moment.
Gotta give it to Ons. She really went for it here. Brought it back to 3-all. Some big returning on second serve, taking your chances. It's what you gotta do at this level against someone like Emma. There's not gonna be many looks that you get, but when you see it, you gotta go for it.
When you think about all of the tools that Jabeur has in her tool bag, does she get the lets as well, though? I mean, how does that work?
That was a bit unfair. Yeah.
9 minutes, Navarro for Ons Jabeur as she pulls up alongside Navarro in this final set. A contest that has proved to be everything we hoped it could be.
Bit of a momentum shift here. It's like she doesn't take too many steps back, even when you push her back. She's just so good at working with not a lot of space and still making shots. Not that one, but throughout this whole set, 2 sets and a half. I do like that play, though. I think the more pressure you can put on the second serve of Jabeur, the more she might think of it, think about it, throw in some doubles.
Ran out of air.
Yeah. One thing I really like about Emma Navarro, I feel like she's really clear about her strengths and weaknesses, and she's clear on what she wants to do out there. Even if sometimes we might think differently, she's really clear that, you know what, she wants to hit the back and return, she'll do it all set.
The return left the line open. Jabeur took her shot, couldn't make it.
You can see she's feeling the importance of this game, this point.
Yeah, and the more balls that Emma Navarro keeps getting back into court, they are having much more of an effect now. Jabeur just having to work harder. Can she keep pushing through here?
Stunning. And is that the moment that carries Navarro potentially to the victory? Back in front with the break, 4-3. Tunisia on the right, the USA on the left. At the moment it is advantage USA, but these are the moments that we live for as fans watching on. Edge of history or the edge of heartbreak? What will it be for one of these two players out here today? Former world number 2 with it all to do.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to get her out of range. Having to get her back and out of the air, not easy to do. I do also think that even if maybe physically we're giving it the edge a bit to Emma, I think the experience is on Ons Jabeur's side. She's been in this position many times, and no matter her current ranking, you know, she knows what it takes to go deep in the slams.
T15.
Navarro doing absolutely the right thing, not trying to overplay the situation. She wasn't actually entirely sure in flight that ball was going to drop in. But the value of making Jabeur at this stage of this physical contest play one extra shot was pretty evident.
Great hole by Emma Navarro. Does feel like she deserved that one after ruling last couple of games with a lot of momentum shifts. She's been maybe a little bit more consistent and solid in this third set.
15 love.
That's what you want to easier points to start the game.
Make that 3.
Yeah.
A hole to love, which you'll love, given the circumstances. Emma Navarro, though, with a chance to serve out for another 3-set win at this year's Australian Open. Well, number 8 may well have broken her opponent in this final set a couple of times, but she is yet to break her resolve, as we just saw in that last game from Jabeur.
Yeah, you can see the aggression from Emma Navarro's racket off that forehand. Just a bit deep on that one, but she's going for it.
Just a little bit of the effervescence gone from Jabeur, given all the effort that she's put into this final set. Haven't seen any of those drop shots for a while.
Looks like she was a bit late on that one, maybe it skipped through the court. Navarro just staying solid here. This has been not maybe the longest 3-set match, but it's been so physical and intense.
What a competitor Emma Navarro is. Uncharted territory for her here in Melbourne, through to the 4th round for the very first time.
Yeah, unbelievable effort from both, really. But Emma just really mentally and physically so tough. She'll enjoy that one.
Third straight 3-set win for Navarro. Hasn't soaked in her success from 2024. She's come out here, hit the ground running in 2025, and keeps impressing at the majors.
Good to see Ons Jabeur back playing healthy. I mean, we definitely have seen her cough a few times today, but I think she looked good for the most part of today, and happy to see her progress in the year and stay healthy and just play good tennis.
Yeah, she does produce beautiful tennis. She exports a fair bit of misery to her opponents, and Navarro felt that today. A lot of hard work once again in the legs of the American, but she did not succumb. And more importantly, she did not succumb to any negative thoughts as well about how tricky that was out there. She was the higher seed at the moment, but she was well prepared for the battle that ensued.
Yeah, or she fooled us with her poker face.
So good to see Ons back. Let's hope she can have a healthy 2025. One of the great stars out there on the WTA Tour. And it's better for her with all the drills in it, yeah.